So earlier in the video I was showing you about a mount that you can change the angle on. And you need to pull it out a little bit so you can get that reach from the wall, but you can change the angle. Now, a lot of people have these type of mounts when you have different places where people view. You got a chair in this area and a couch over there, and so you get to move it around. Have a kitchen over there and a living room here. People watching in the living room, you're by yourself and you want to cook a meal, but watch the news at the same time. You just push it over to the area where it faces you in the kitchen. Or you're all done turning it and you just want it to go back, you just push it back in. Now remember, these are weight sensitive, so you don't want to put a really heavy TV on a bracket that's not rated for the pounds of the TV. So I wanted to show you other things here also. Is notice we already installed a little 6-port faceplate here, and it has 4 HDMIs. It has a computer jack, and it has a coax cable, along with a power connection here. Now, nice thing about this box is this box has a place where you can wrap up extra cable, so it all stays back. You have other inputs here where you can put additional type of cables through the wall down to the bottom box. It gives you a lot of flexibility. It looks nice, it fits perfect, and you'll see in our videos how to put these in. And these are excellent, and they're according to code. The high voltage, the 110 voltage, is separated, physically separated from the low voltage. 2 different boxes are involved here. And the cables run behind the wall. So when you have an entertainment center, it sits here, and the TV, it sits right up against it. You're not going to be able to see any cables at all. Now, a lot of times what I see is people forget to order the cables from the wall to the computer. To the TV. So here's 4 HDMI cables, and they look a little long, but remember this type of bracket moves out. And so what you want to do is you want to plug it in, and you want to tie wrap it to the arms, and then to the back of the computer plug it in. Now, a lot of people say, well, it's a lot of outlets here and down there, and yeah, there really is. And sometimes they're confused easily. So I'll show you what we do to keep them organized. I have this electrical tape that we sell on the website that has different colors: red, yellow, blue, green, white. And what you do is you take the tape and you wrap it around here, and you wrap it around here. Then you cut a little bit of piece of tape off and you put it right next to the jack. And then you identify the cables down here at the bottom, which ones are blue, yellow, green, white, red. And so you know that when you plug this one into the back here, to the back of the TV, let's say the red one is always going to be red here, it's going to be red here, it's going to be red at the bottom. So a great little device. Now, we talked about the cables that are going from here, according, that you're going to need the additional HDMI cables. You might need the coax, depending on what you're trying to do. It's up to you. But another thing you're going to need is we have a internet jack here, so you're going to need your patch cord. Now, so in reality, you're going to need 3 sets of cords. You're going to need the set of cord that goes to the TV. Then you're going to need a set of cords that goes from here, HDMI, all the other sets that go behind the wall and come out at the bottom. And so you're going to need those cords. And then you're going to need the cord going from here to your surround sound, to your cable box, to whatever you decide you want in your entertainment center. So think that through. If you're not going to have this type of swinging bracket, then the cords can be shorter. But it's always better to have a cord that's longer than what you need, maybe by 6 inches longer than what you need, than have a cord that's just too small and you move the TV out and it pops off. And then you have to figure out where it plugs in at. Might be a good case for that different color tape to put on the back of the TV, also at the different outlets on the back of the TV, so you can check it from the TV to the wall, to the wall, to the bracket, from the bracket into the home entertainment center. So the other thing you do is you get these little pass-throughs. Where do you need the pass-throughs at? Well, you're going to need them here, going from the cable that's behind the wall. And you're also going to need them down at the bottom, going from that box, going through a little faceplate like this in both cases, and then coming out into the entertainment center. So, and these things just snap right into place. They're keystone, so they're made to snap into keystone jacks. And it just snaps in. And then when you have that plugged in, it attaches the cable to the back. You're not cutting cable, you're not wiring, there's no cutting a cable here. And then what happens is on the front, you're going to have this cable coming out of the wall. It's coming out actually right here. I'll show it to you. So it comes in here, it plugs into the TV. This little pass-through, there's a cable on the other side that's going to go exactly down to the bottom. So you're going to need 2 of these for every cable. So if your TV has 4 HDMIs and you want to cable every single HDMI in the back of the TV, which I would advise you to do because then you're not fooling around with cables anymore, you're going to need 4 of these pass-throughs here. You're going to need 4 of these pass-throughs at the bottom, little HDMI jacks that fit right into what they call keystone faceplates, and this is a faceplate. Now you can buy all these on our website, so make your list. You can talk to the office. We'll tell you if you're missing anything, and all you need to do is just purchase everything you need, and then watch the videos. You can do this yourself in a reasonable time. I'd say in an afternoon you could probably have this done, and then all you do is you get a friend to help you mount the TV. Easy to mount the TV. You have these little screws here and here. The modern LCD TVs have holes in the back of the TV and bolts. This comes with bolts. You bolt it into the back of the TV. It's firm. It's not going to fall off the wall. And then you lift the TV up, and notice it has a little hook here. So that's the top part. So that's going to hook in at the top and then slide in at the bottom. And once it slides in, you want to turn in your set screw. And the reason you want to do that is it stops it from sliding out the end. It stops it from coming off if you pull the TV up. So you want to set that set screw. Let me show you. Okay? Now it's not going to come off. You also have an angle attachment right here. You lighten that up and you can set the angle of the TV if it needs to be straight or if it needs to angle down because maybe you just want a different angle to see it better. You just do that and you tighten them up on both sides. So don't forget, this is a job that you can do yourself. It's going to take you an afternoon to put one of these in along with your cables behind the wall, but it's going to add value to the room. It's going to look neater. It's not going to be sloppy. And you just have to remember the parts that you need. And if you're having difficulties with that, give us a call and we'll help you. We'll go through a checklist with you where you can make sure that you have everything you need. Remember, it's not one HDMI cable going from here to the outlet at the bottom. You also need from the cable supply box, your DVR, whatever you're going to put down there, your surround sound, things like that. Those HDMIs need to go from the back of those boxes into the bottom box here, and then out here, and then from here you're going to need a jumper HDMI going to the TV. So remember, you're going to need 3 HDMIs for every outlet in the TV that you want to cable. And for each HDMI, you're going to need 2 push-throughs, 2 through little jacks, HDMI pass-throughs, and you're going to need the other cables, the patch cords that you use for a regular computer, your RJ45 patch cords that go from the back here into the computer. And there's 2 ways to, of course, you can cable that too. You can run a cable from here to your wherever your router switch is. Or what you do is you run a cable from here down to the bottom, and if you have an outlet at the bottom, then you just do a small patch cord, right through it, back into there. It runs the cable up to here. As you can see, we're just about done. We're ready to hang the TV up here, things like this, and we have these HDMI outlets right here. I have 4 of them. I have a Ethernet connection, RJ45, and I also have a coax cable connection, and of course the power is right here. This is according to code. The 110 power is separated from the low voltage. No cables on the wall, but as you can see, we're not done yet down there. Now, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to mark my cables, and I'm going to use this tape. We have this tape on our website, and different colors, so I'm going to use, obviously, red, yellow, blue, and green. And I'm going to cut off a little bit, just a little snippet, and I'm going to identify the HDMI cables. Now, before we put the cables in, we identified them. So the cables, I know what colors go where now, because I've taken the cable, and I put little strips around the cable of different colors. Let me show you what it looks like. So what we're doing here is we're going to take care of some of the feeds here that are coming in from upstairs from the data closet. This is a pretty nice house, and some of it's been pre-cabled. They did 2 coax and 2 Cat5e jacks to each outlet. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to feed off of this outlet, so we can take this cable here, which goes up to the TV up there, and we got to connect them together if you want to get cable up to your TV. Now, one of the ways you do that is something called a 2-way splitter. I know it has 3 outlets, but it's really a 2-way splitter. The feed goes in here, and the other 2 feed the 2 cables. So one cable is going to come out of the wall, and the other cable is actually going to come out up there, so we can hook up our TV to it. First thing we need to do is a 4-port Keystone faceplate, and we just need to plug in the different ones, and there is an up and down on this. You want to follow the up and down. It says up, you may not be able to read it. Yeah, there it is, right here. Okay, so, and again, these jacks were pre-existing before we started the project. We're just putting in a new faceplate. Now, this is a coax we're not using. They have a white coax and a black coax. Did a nice job cabling this. This is kind of an older house, been around for about 10 years. And it was, the way they did it was really nice. But these Keystone jacks do a really nice job. See, now if I run this one to another Keystone coax, then how do I feed that TV that's up there? So what you do is you take your 3-way splitter, right? And we're going to attach it to the feed that goes upstairs. Hand tight is good enough. Now this goes upstairs, goes up to the TV. And remember, we marked it earlier. So TV goes right here. Now I need a short piece, and the short piece is going to go from here to the back of here. So I can also get my cable from the back of this jack. So I can, now with the splitter, I'm going to be able to go from here to up there, and the feed cable is going to feed both of them, both locations. So here's a coax pass-through. As you can see, we have this on our website, and it's a Keystone one, so it's very modular. Keystone is the standard these days, which is really nice. With these, you can, as you can see, we could put 2 RJ45s. That one didn't snap in all the way. 2 RJ45s. I'll get that later. And I can also install this here. So as you can see, fits into the back, and then I'm going to turn that little nut, turn the whole thing, I think. Might be easier. Again, it does not have to be any tighter than hand tight. Sometimes people really crank these things down. That's fine if you want to do that too. So I'm going to take this. This is the upside. So I'm going to put it in first. I'm going to rotate it in. So I'm going to push it in like this, and then once it grabs on the bottom, it snaps in on the top. Now I'm going to take the other end and I'm going to attach it to my 3-way splitter. You gotta line them up. I tell you, I like twisted pair better than coax. Okay. Now the trick is getting all this cable back into the wall. Since I'm using a P-ring and not a closed box, I have all this space in here. Push this cable back, and it's still going to be difficult. Yes, got them all in there, I think. Okay, goes in like that. Now remember, when you put these in, and I can see this isn't snapped in all the way. There it is. When you put these in, it's the easiest way to remember how they go in is the wires that are on the RJ45 are on the top. And I don't know why they're on the top, but that's the standard. And maybe it's because the dust when it's coming down isn't going to settle on the wires. So always put the RJ45 on the top. The wires, the little pins in there, are going to be on the top. Now, it's nice because when you grab it, you hold it and you squeeze the RJ45 patch cord and it comes out. For some odd reason, it's the opposite on laptops. Don't know why. At any rate, goes like that. And I'm going to take my trusty drill. Now, you don't want to over tighten faceplates. Sometimes if you over tighten them, and this might be a little too tight, they have a little bow in them. And that's okay. You walk out today, everything looks great. 6 months from now, they crack. So they don't need to be tight, just need to be snugged. That's it. And sometimes, you know, you can line up the, you can't do it with a drill, line up the little line in there, and it just makes it look nice. Makes it look nice and professional, all lined up. So you got all your feeds. You got a feed going up there. You got your 2 RJ45s for your local area network, and you also have the 2 feeds going up to the data room in the master closet upstairs. This feed is being split off and sent also a wing or an arm is being sent up to where the TV is. Thank you for watching our videos, very much appreciated. And we love making them for you, by the way. So if you don't see a video that that suits your needs or your purposes, give us a call. And if we can do it, we'll make a video for you. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Hi, this is Jim with Cable.com. Hi, this is Jim from Cable.com. Hi, this is Jim with Cable.com, and today I'm going to show you how to cut a hole in the drywall.
This is David signing out. You stay classy, Internet.